Have you ever looked back on your life and wondered how things might have been different if you had made better choices? It's something we all do at some point. That's why in this video, we're going to talk about 5 of the biggest mistakes people make in old age, mistakes that can slowly destroy the life you worked so hard to build. These are things that creep up on you, little by little, until one day, you look around and realize you've lost control. But the good news? It's never too late to turn things around. So stay with me until the end because we're not just talking about what not to do, we'll also go over practical steps to help you stay physically strong, mentally sharp, and financially secure. I promise, by the time you finish this video, you'll feel more in control of your future. Now, before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from? Comment below and share your city. I always enjoy hearing from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. Mistake 1: neglecting physical health. It doesn't happen overnight, it starts with small choices. Maybe you skip your daily walk once or twice, then it becomes a habit. Maybe you start reaching for processed foods instead of cooking a balanced meal because it's easier. Over time, these small decisions add up, and before you know it, you're struggling with low energy, joint pain, and difficulty doing things that once felt effortless. Many people assume that losing strength, balance, and mobility is just a natural part of aging. But that's not entirely true. Yes, our bodies change as we get older, but most of the physical decline people experience isn't just due to age, it's due to inactivity, poor nutrition, and ignoring early health warnings. Have you ever noticed that if you sit for too long, your body feels stiff when you get up? That's your body telling you it needs movement. The less you move, the harder it becomes to stay active. Over time, even simple tasks, like standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries, can feel exhausting. And let's not forget about falls, one of the biggest dangers for older adults. Weak muscles lead to poor balance, and one bad fall can take away your independence in an instant. Then there's diet. As people age, they often eat less, thinking they don't need as many nutrients. But in reality, older adults need more of certain nutrients to stay strong. Your body needs protein to maintain muscle, calcium to keep bones strong, and fiber to aid digestion. Relying on processed foods, skipping meals, or eating too little can lead to deficiencies that cause fatigue, weaken your immune system, and increase the risk of conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. Another mistake? Ignoring regular health checkups. Many people avoid the doctor unless something feels seriously wrong. But conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and osteoporosis don't always have obvious symptoms in the early stages. By the time you feel something is wrong, the damage might already be done. Routine screenings can catch problems early when they're easier to treat. It's never too late to make a change. Even small improvements, like a 15-minute daily walk, swapping processed snacks for whole foods, or doing light strength exercises, can drastically improve how you feel. And making regular doctor visits a priority ensures that you stay ahead of potential health issues. Mistake 2: isolating from friends and family. One of the most heartbreaking mistakes people make in old age is pulling away from social connections. You skip a family gathering because you're tired, you stop calling friends as often, or you tell yourself that people are too busy to visit. Before you know it, days turn into weeks, then months, and suddenly, loneliness has crept into your life without you even realizing it. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's a serious health risk. Studies have shown that social isolation can have the same effect on your body as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It weakens the immune system, increases the risk of heart disease, and can even speed up cognitive decline, leading to memory loss and dementia. Many people believe that loneliness is just part of aging, but that's simply not true. Feeling connected to others isn't just about having company, it's about maintaining a sense of purpose, joy, and engagement with life. The human brain thrives on social interaction. When we stop having meaningful conversations, sharing experiences, and feeling emotionally connected to others, we start to feel empty, and that emptiness leads to depression, anxiety, and even a decline in physical health. Take Dorothy, for example. At 76, she slowly stopped reaching out to her friends. She convinced herself they were too busy with their own families, and she didn't want to bother them. As time passed, she spent most of her days alone, with only the TV for company. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. But after a while, she noticed her mood was lower, she had less energy, and even simple tasks felt harder. She didn't feel like herself anymore. Then, one day, she decided to pick up the phone and call an old friend. That one conversation changed everything. She started reaching out more, joined a local book club, and invited her grandchildren over more often. Within weeks, her energy improved, her mood lifted, and she even noticed her memory was sharper. The mistake many people make is thinking that family alone should be their main source of social connection. While family is important, they have their own responsibilities, and relying only on them can sometimes lead to disappointment. That's why it's essential to have multiple sources of social engagement: friends, neighbors, community groups, and even online connections. Speaking of online, technology has made staying in touch easier than ever. Yet, many seniors avoid it because it feels overwhelming. But learning how to use video calls, voice messages, or even social media can make a huge difference in staying connected, especially when in-person visits aren't possible. So, if you've been isolating yourself, it's time to change that. Make it a habit to call someone once a week. Join a local group, volunteer, or simply say yes when someone invites you out. You don't need a busy social calendar, you just need meaningful connections. Mistake 3: refusing to adapt to change. Change is never easy, but one of the biggest mistakes older adults make is resisting change instead of adapting to it. It's understandable, after decades of living a certain way, it's frustrating to feel like you have to adjust to new things. Whether it's technology, lifestyle changes, or shifting social norms, many people dig in their heels and refuse to adapt. But here's the hard truth: the world is not going backward, and refusing to change only makes life more difficult and isolating. Many seniors assume that smartphones, online banking, and video calls are just for young people. But the reality is, these tools exist to make life easier, not harder. Simple things, like ordering groceries online, setting up automatic bill payments, or staying in touch with family through video calls, can reduce stress, save time, and keep you connected. Take Albert, for example. At 78, he refused to upgrade from his old flip phone. He said, "I've been just fine without all that new technology." But over time, he started to notice the little inconveniences adding up. His grandkids were texting in family group chats that he couldn't be part of. His bank switched some services to online only. And when his doctor's office introduced telehealth appointments, he was left out because he didn't know how to use a smartphone. Eventually, he decided to give it a try. With a little patience, he learned how to send messages, make video calls, and even order his prescriptions online. Suddenly, life felt less frustrating, and he felt more connected to his family. But resisting change isn't just about technology. It can also be about lifestyle habits. For example, some people refuse to adjust their diet, even when they know certain foods are affecting their health. Others ignore new medical advice because it's different from what they were told years ago. Or they refuse to make their home safer by adding grab bars or better lighting, thinking, "I don't need that yet." The truth is, being flexible and willing to make small adjustments can keep you independent for much longer. Change also happens in relationships. Younger generations think and communicate differently. If you find yourself saying, "Things were better in my day," or "Kids today don't understand," you might be closing yourself off to deeper connections with family. Instead of resisting, Try to understand their world. It can strengthen your relationships instead of creating distance. Adapting to change doesn't mean losing who you are. It means staying open-minded so you can continue living life on your own terms without unnecessary frustration. The more willing you are to learn and grow, the more independent and fulfilled you'll feel. Mistake 4: Mismanaging finances. One of the biggest mistakes older adults make is not managing their finances wisely. Many people assume that once they retire, they don't need to think about budgeting, saving, or planning for the future. But financial mismanagement, whether it's overspending, underestimating future expenses, or failing to plan for emergencies, can turn what should be a comfortable retirement into years of stress and uncertainty. Here's the truth: money lasts only as long as you manage it well. Even if you've saved up, unexpected costs, like medical bills, home repairs, or long-term care, can drain your finances faster than you expect. Inflation also means that the cost of living keeps going up, and if you're still spending like you did 10 or 20 years ago, you might find yourself running out of money sooner than planned. Take Richard, for example. At 72, he retired with what he thought was enough savings. He wanted to enjoy life, so he spent freely, taking trips, buying gifts for his grandkids, and eating out regularly. But by his late 70s, he realized his savings were shrinking fast. Medical expenses piled up, and he hadn't planned for long-term care. Eventually, he had to rely on his children for financial support, something he never wanted to do. Had he been more mindful of his spending, he could have stretched his savings and maintained his financial independence. Another common mistake is assuming that financial planning stops at retirement. Many seniors don't track their expenses or update their budgets to reflect their new stage of life. But managing money is a lifelong process. Even in old age, adjusting your spending, keeping an eye on investments, and planning for possible healthcare costs can make a huge difference in maintaining security and peace of mind. One of the most heartbreaking financial mistakes seniors make is falling for scams. Scammers target older adults because they know many grew up in a time when people were more trusting. Whether it's fake phone calls, email fraud, or so-called financial advisors with too good to be true promises, one bad decision can wipe out a lifetime of savings. That's why it's crucial to stay informed, never give out personal information over the phone, and always consult a trusted family member or financial expert before making big financial decisions. So, what's the solution? Create a clear budget and track your expenses. Cut unnecessary spending and make sure your money is lasting. Plan for future medical and long-term care costs. Educate yourself on financial scams and be cautious with your money. Financial security in old age isn't about being wealthy, it's about being wise. Taking control of your finances now can be the difference between living comfortably and facing financial stress in your later years. Mistake 5: Ignoring mental growth and losing purpose. One of the most overlooked but life-changing mistakes older adults make is giving up on personal growth and losing their sense of purpose. Many people believe that once they retire, their time for learning, setting goals, or contributing to the world is over. But here's the truth: having something to look forward to, whether it's a hobby, a passion, or a new challenge, is one of the most important factors in staying mentally sharp, emotionally fulfilled, and physically healthy. A lot of people assume that mental decline is inevitable. While it's true that aging brings some changes, the brain remains capable of learning, adapting, and forming new connections throughout life. The real danger isn't age, it's mental inactivity. When you stop challenging yourself, stop learning, and stop engaging with the world, your brain slows down. This can lead to memory loss, difficulty concentrating, and even an increased risk of dementia. Think about Linda, a 70-year-old woman who used to be active and curious. But after retirement, she found herself watching TV most of the day, feeling like her best years were behind her. Over time, she started forgetting things more often, lost interest in conversations, and felt less engaged with life. But one day, she decided to try something new, an art class at a local community center. Within weeks, she felt more alive, more engaged, and even made new friends in the process. Another mistake people make is not having a reason to get up in the morning. After spending decades working, raising families, and handling responsibilities, many seniors feel lost once those roles fade. Without a sense of purpose, boredom and depression can set in quickly. But here's the good news: finding purpose doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as volunteering. Helping others gives you a reason to feel needed. Mentoring younger generations. Your wisdom and experience are valuable. Taking up a new hobby, gardening, music, writing, or anything that excites you. Setting small goals, whether it's reading a new book every month or learning a new skill. Some seniors avoid trying new things because they fear failure or believe it's too late. But the reality is, age has nothing to do with learning. Some of the most inspiring people started new careers, learned new languages, or picked up new hobbies in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s. Keeping your mind active isn't just about entertainment, it impacts your longevity, cognitive function, and overall well-being. The happiest and healthiest seniors are the ones who stay curious, keep learning, and find ways to contribute to the world. No matter how old you are, your mind is still capable of growth, and your life still has meaning. The key is to keep looking forward, keep learning, and never believe that your best days are behind you. Now that we've gone through these 5 common mistakes, take a moment to reflect. Which of these might be affecting your own life? The choices you make today will shape the quality of your life in the years to come. It's never too late to make better decisions, to start fresh, and to ensure that your later years are some of your best years. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's one change you're going to make after watching this video? Leave a comment below, I'd love to read your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs, inspires, and empowers you. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.